What's up, guys? It's that time. We're back with another edition of the American Ninja Warrior After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. The city finals are winding down because we're talking Cleveland, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
There we go. Let's get those party lights going. See, this is the visual, the always exciting visual component, guys. It's the American Ninja Warrior After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV, guys. My name is Ty Matthews. You can find me online at Ty Matthews PMA. Joined as always, the always lovely, always talented. You can find her online at @Cassandra_TV because it's Cassandra.
This is true. Thank you very much.
Those are all true facts.
Yes. And also AmyCassandra.com. Sing it, do it. I saw you mouthing the words. Do it.
Guys, go look up the words to this song. We've got ninjas to talk about, Amy.
Boy, do we.
Not hoodie ninjas.
No, just
The lyrics to this
awesome.
song are awesome. You should look them up.
they are.
But
Oh,
we've got to
it's
talk.
over.
Well, first of all, on the ones and twos, my favorite boy, Mr. Mark B. Donica.
Oh, hi, Ty, my boy.
Oh, hello.
Hello, my little boy, Ty.
I don't
and
get
also much respect to Amy.
So much respect.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
It'd be weird if I called you my girl. That'd be weird, right?
No,
Ah,
that's fine.
I'd roll with it.
All right, this is my fam. It's you need to stop because I'm on the air. Sorry, somebody's making Tigger noises next to me. Not talking to you.
Tigger.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
okay. Hello, my family.
Good
Mark,
old
we
Tigger.
don't get to see Mark much anymore, so it's always a special occasion.
Like the
Nice.
people can see me now.
Well, that's also true.
Oh, don't worry.
Seeing,
They can see you in their
hearing,
mind's eye.
Hearing is seeing in a way.
is believing.
That's what they say.
I'm gonna hit this soundboard hard.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Oh boy. So, so we gotta
hit it
talk
hard.
about the Cleveland City Finals. You gotta keep
I
it
it's
together. You keep it
It's
together.
already been put together.
All right. So we've got. Let's break down this course. All right.
Break it down.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down, y'all. DX style. We've got the floating steps, kicking it off like they always do. Then we got the rolling log.
Rolling, doing its thing.
You know,
We've seen
like
it
Limp
before.
Bizkit. Right, exactly. Followed by the razor's edge. Then we've got the ring jump, the I-beam gap,
Oh.
the 14.5-foot warped wall.
Uh-huh.
And then for the back half of the city finals course, we've got the salmon ladder. We've got the nail clipper, the deviously designed nail clipper. I'll be surprised if we see the nail clipper again.
Here's the thing. I am surprised they didn't say this, what I'm about to say, the entire episode, because I think it was a golden opportunity. But watching people try to get through it was a big nail biter.
Oh, you are the worst. You are the absolute.
You're welcome, guys.
Should have known. Well, guys, it's been a fun run.
You're welcome.
I'll see you next week. We've got the nail clipper. Nail clipper took out. How many people did it take out tonight?
At least 16.
I think it was. I think you're right. I think you're right.
But that one was actually created by Calvin Boyce.
That's what I thought. 16-year-old Calvin Boyce, right?
Yeah.
Calvin, you're too good at this. You're too good at these challenging obstacles. Gotta dial it back a little bit.
Or,
A little bit.
wait till you're 21, bring that one back, and then let's see if you can get
So
through
you
it.
do it. Right, exactly. After the nail clipper, we didn't see it in action very much, but up next was the clacker.
Clack,
Did you ever play with clackers as a kid?
clack. No.
No?
No.
Mark, do you know what I'm talking about, clackers?
I was looking for a grasshopper chirp. But maybe if you describe them, maybe
Do
I'll
you
be
know?
able to.
Okay, so like clackers were this toy. I'm pretty sure that's what they were called. You would hold them. You'd hold them by a little handle, right? It was like a plastic
Oh!
stick, and then there
Oh!
would be these two like things that would clack together.
Oh, no.
And see, there we go.
Yes!
There we go. Exactly.
Oh!
No, not
Whoa.
those.
Whoa.
Not those ones.
Not
What
those.
are those?
These ones?
Yes, that.
That. Okay.
Those-
Hold
I feel like they should have been named something else. They look
on. Well, no,
like...
because they would go clack clack.
They clack.
What are the... I just remember the little... it looks like a flag.
That's what I'm talking about. The thing on the left.
What are the ball...
Those are clackers too.
What? Okay.
What?
They just look like someone just put them off to the side. I don't know why
Yes.
they... What do you do with them?
You clack
Clack
them.
them.
Guys,
You walked right into that one.
Sorry.
I did not.
You didn't sign up for clacking duty. I know. I apologize.
Come on. Anyways,
Clackers.
much ado about nothing because we didn't get to see a whole lot of clacking on this course.
The clacking was lacking.
Yes. Yeah, no, Ty, come back. He can't even hear me. Ty, come back, please. I got a good one for that.
I thought I was gone. I thought I was safe from this when Kathy left.
No, never.
I'll be here until we're done.
And then finally, of course, we got the 35-foot elevator climb, rounding out the course, finishing out the city finals.
Yep. I've got nothing for that one.
No. Exactly. I'm sure you can think
Elevator, so you're trying to go up
right.
is the goal.
Right.
Just for clarification.
No, yeah, that is literally
35 feet.
Up. It's a long way. It's a long way.
You're welcome.
But this nail clipper, let's get that out of the way before we get into the field of ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
So with the nail clipper, if you guys didn't see, we're gonna do our best to visualize this.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got 4 cylinders that are
Yes.
kind of sticking out horizontally.
Mm-hmm.
They've got handles around the outsides of them.
Mm-hmm.
Ninjas will have to kind of... God.
Okay, they're kind of
Man.
like grooves in a way.
Sure.
So they... okay. Yeah.
Mark, would you be able to Google this while we're trying to think of words?
I might be able to.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like a round hairbrush in a way. You know how, like, work with me, guys. Okay, so you know the bristles come out. It's
Yeah.
kind of like that, but they're way less.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we saw so many different ways of trying to tackle this.
Right.
Most of them did not work.
Oh, we'll talk about that backwards dismount. That was a heartbreaker.
Oh.
Oh boy, oofa doofa.
You said there's 4.
There's 4.
Uh-huh.
There's 4 of them. 4 of these kind of cylinders. That's just what I keep going back to.
Yeah. So, in the goal is to make it through it. That's it.
Right. You are correct.
And it's testing your grip strength.
Right. As so many of these do.
Mm-hmm. And it was the 8th obstacle.
Right.
That,
Now we're just saying facts.
But this is the truth, and we are giving it to you.
The straight truth.
The straight truth.
Right. Exactly.
It looked a little bit okay. It looked really tricky because it almost it looked as though if you put your arm around one of the groovy thingies, that it would move the cylinder.
But it only moves so much.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it only moves to an extent and then it stops.
So the
there's
key
always that.
is to hang on even though it moves because you think you're gonna fall,
Right.
but you won't unless you let go.
Right. Guys, we're going to trust that you watched the episode. We're going to stop
It's
there.
good though. So watch
It's
it.
good. It is good.
It's a nail biter.
Again?
And again, well, hey, look at that. What is that video?
Which obstacle was it?
The nail clipper. The nail clipper.
Doesn't help.
That one. No.
Hold on.
Hey,
Wait.
it's Captain.
Wait, this
That one.
That one?
NBC.
That one.
Hold on.
We're going to pull up
There
a
it
clip
is,
here
guys.
of Captain NBC Jamie Ron.
Ha, good stuff.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mark. You're a lifesaver. Okay, now for the folks listening on iTunes, please just visualize this or switch over to the YouTube stream. But here we have
Yes.
Captain NBC Jamie Ron
See, it moves.
navigating,
That moved
That's
a
rough.
lot.
right?
It moved a lot more.
But see, it stops there.
And then it moves back.
Right. Yeah, this is a rough one. For
They-
sure.
They look like salt and pepper shakers because of the holes on the side. What is
They
the
do.
point of
the
the
holes? The holes threw me. I will admit.
So
Yeah, this
he
one's
made that
tricky.
look smooth though.
Mhm.
I mean, once you get a rhythm to it, it's doable. At least that's what we saw. But
right.
and here he's gonna dismount like going forward, which is a good idea.
Very smart. Very, very
Yeah!
smart. Good job, Jamie Ron. You got it.
There we go.
All right. Who do we want to talk about first? We got a big old field of ninjas.
We do.
Do we want to talk? Let's talk about Michelle Warnky.
Good.
Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Start with our very first ninja,
Yes.
Michelle Warnky.
She was amazing, and I think it was a great way to, start the episode off. She has I mean, she's proven herself in the past to be a total rock star. So she was the first woman to open a ninja gym. She went backwards onto the on the ring jump, and that's actually how she fell in qualifying.
Exactly, yeah. So in the Cleveland qualifiers, it was going forward on that ring jump that ended up sending her into the water. But this time, I can't even wrap my head around how, like, jumping up backwards on that ring jump.
It's like flying backwards.
Right.
But she had to trust herself because she said, you know, I saw other people do it, so figured I should try it.
Right.
And it worked.
Believe in the ball. Throw yourself. Continue.
She looked like a caterpillar on the I-beam.
Sorry?
She looked like a caterpillar on the I-beam.
Go on.
In the best way possible. She just hung on there like a little tiny caterpillar.
I see.
You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. She was also the second woman to ever go up the warped wall, and her dad competed in qualifying.
That's right, Chris Warnky.
So she made it all the way to the nail clipper.
That damn nail clipper, like we said.
I'm not going to say it again.
No,
that's okay.
don't you? The fact that you're even thinking it.
I'm trying to think of another fun pun for you guys.
So she was the second woman to make it up a warped wall after Casey Catanzaro, right?
Only a week after.
Right.
So.
And this was her first time at a wall since 2014. Her first time facing the 14.5-foot warped wall, so that's an added challenge there.
Added 6 inches.
Right. So yeah, one of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Of course.
She didn't get to go to Vegas.
Right.
But I mean, she's very proud of herself. She got very far. The nail clipper.
Well, and on that point, let's talk about, who was it? Alisa Beard. Alisa Beard was the one later on in the night, near the end of the field. We've got Alisa Beard, the 5th grade teacher, making her run on the city finals course. And at that point, Michelle Warnky was kind of on the bubble. Alisa had to make it past the salmon ladder at in a certain amount of time in order to make it to Vegas. But it's that double-edged sword. It's kind of bittersweet, you know? If she makes it, of course, she goes to Vegas, but she kind of edges out Michelle Warnky, one of her fellow Fantastic Four.
So here's the thing, because in the past, this hasn't really been an issue, but when there's so many talented, strong ladies, that almost seems unfair, because it's like you guys have this rule, you know, of only 2 women can go on. But I mean, Michelle Warnky got all the way to the nail clipper. Can we change that rule for next season? Because you just never know. Ladies could be taking over American Ninja Warriors, what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So because the guys, I mean, you still have the 15 spots. So, you know, if someone gets far enough, you know, I think they should have allowed.
Well, they can't let everyone go to Vegas.
No, I know. But the top 15, and the fact that it's only 2 women, like, if there are qualified, strong women, that technically we're just a few seconds away from, you know, being in the top 2, why can't we make it a top 3? You know what I mean?
So then why couldn't we make a top 5, a top 10 in the qualifiers?
No.
There has to be rules, Amy.
No, but ladies aren't getting enough of a chance here. There's only 2.
Right.
So let's make it 5 or 3.
But there are so many cities that are qualifying.
But ladies that, like, get far enough.
But maybe there aren't enough ladies just running on the courses to begin with.
I know. So we should... I'm just saying Michelle Warnky should have been able to go to Vegas because she got all the way to the nail clip.
Well, she didn't do it fast enough, Amy.
Well, I'm sorry. But that's not fair. She did really well. So, I mean,
she did awesomely.
Hopefully she'll come back next year and be in the top 2, and then we'll see her in Vegas.
There you go.
There.
But then someone else won't get a chance to go to Vegas.
Well, but then maybe they won't have gotten that far. Stop. I'm just saying. You know what I mean, though? Because it's okay. We're gonna move on. Okay. Who are other standouts for you?
For me, John Alexis Jr. We got to talk about John Alexis Jr. It's got to present additional challenges. Like, of course, it's got to present benefits on certain obstacles, being 6'6". But like, for example, on the rolling log, That seems like something that could be very, very difficult. Obviously, with the long limbs, it's easier to lock them in place. But we've seen people's legs get like whipped off of that log. And so it'd be very, very easy to even just barely graze the water if that were the case.
That and the ring jump, I would say too, because he's so tall that you have to.
Exactly. I kept wondering if he was gonna touch the water at some point.
I mean, he's having to scrunch himself a little bit, so he's having to jump through over. What are they called? Pegs.
Right.
Over pegs and also not hit the water. So I think that's double as hard for him because of his height.
Yeah, absolutely.
He fell.
And skydiving as much as he does also.
That is
That's
so
completely
cool.
unrelated to the course, unrelated to Ninja Ing, but that's pretty cool.
He was also on the same track team in high school as Flex.
Oh,
Labrecque.
that's right. Jessie Flex Labrecque, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, he fell at the nail clipper.
Now, Flex Labrecque was also... Did we see her tonight, or did we see her somewhere else?
Yes, we sure did.
Okay, that's what I thought. Where did we see her at?
So,
go over these
and,
notes.
And she
That's
was with her boyfriend, Chris DeGangi. And yeah, she made it to the third cylinder on the nail clipper.
Right, which is farther than a lot of people got. A lot of people didn't make it even to the second one.
Yeah, or even, to the nail clipper.
Right.
Like Michelle Warnky did.
Right. Right.
Yeah, but I mean, it was cool to see couples this time. I always love watching couples because
Right.
they're
I feel like
rooting for each other.
every city has kind of their own sort of couples now.
And she moved to it was near Illinois, but she moved to and she's working under United Ninjas. It's so cool that people now have professions, in this whole American Ninja Warrior world. I mean, who would have known? Because you're not only competing, to win, but you're also building a future.
Exactly.
Which is really nice. I don't know if, we ever saw this happening years and years ago.
What's
but
that?
Here we are. Just how big it would be.
Oh, of course.
Jobs and mini
the
ninjas.
fact that ninja gyms are a thing now.
Yeah.
Right.
That is so cool to me. So cool. But she did really well. So she's going to Vegas. And her boyfriend, Chris DeGangi, is also going to Vegas, which is really nice.
Right.
And he fell at
also
the nail
went
clipper.
on the very same thing, on the very same cylinder. Absolutely.
I love that they showed the both of them going through
right.
it right there. It's just oh, that's so cute. Couple that trains together gets as far
Falls
into
together.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, I mean, you could tell that training with each other really helped them because I mean he got pretty far.
Right. Understatements, Batman.
Thank you, Brett Ward.
Thank you. Thank you.
So let's talk. We saw a clip of Jamie Ron of Captain NBC. Whoa.
I'm really excited about this one. Look at all the exclamation marks I have on it.
such effusive notes.
Thank you.
So yeah, he was the very first person to get past this nail clipper pretty deep into this episode.
Yeah.
Usually we don't see an obstacle that kind of unconquerable.
It was a little bit past halfway in the episode.
Right. So he makes it past, skips the final handles on the clacker, which after everyone went out after everyone went out on the nail clipper, it seemed like the clacker was not that hard at that point.
It's not going to be clacked.
Maybe they should have been switched or something.
Yeah. I feel like the clacker was a little bit simpler.
Right.
Well, most obstacles are simpler than the nail clipper.
Yeah, exactly.
But he was the first one to complete the nail clipper and first one to get pretty much anywhere after that point.
Right.
And he was the first to finish.
And now it's all of the other city finals have trained me to not expect anyone to hit that buzzer after the elevator climb, We've seen so many people use so much upper body strength by the time they get to that climb that they just completely gas out, and they make it halfway and they still qualify for Vegas, but it always sucks when that happens. But this time we saw him stick it out.
He was in it too. When you start to see them extend their arms, that's when we start getting worried. When they start closing their eyes and moving their entire body, it's just oh no. Because we've seen people get as far up as 25 feet, just 5 feet away. But when your arms are tired, your arms are tired.
Right.
And his were tired, but he made it.
Right.
He made it. So he took 8 minutes and 39 seconds to complete that.
There you go.
Still, I'm always amazed at how fast these ninjas get through these obstacles.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of that, we got to talk about Joe Moravsky, the weatherman.
Yes, this guy was amazing.
Well, we'll keep jumping around. We're not done quite yet,
No.
but we're talking about the final ninja of the night, the weatherman, expecting his second child.
Yeah.
Right. But
So sweet.
the pace, we join him kind of in progress on the course, but the pace that he's making and the speed at which he's just blazing through these obstacles, like, not only did he get past the nail clipper, he made it look like
No big deal.
oh, like y'all can't do this?
What?
You guys can't?
That's weird.
You guys
Why?
can't?
Super easy.
It's easy, right?
You just get through it.
One to the other.
Boop, boop, boop. That's it.
Right. But and just the way he made it up that warped wall and past the salmon ladder, the salmon ladder especially. My God, watching people do that one especially with such a fast pace is insane.
Especially because at that point, see, in the qualifying round, you see that's the warped wall is it.
Right,
That's it. So
right.
they use all their energy and it's appropriately distributed. But when they get to the city finals, you're like, that's cute. That's only half of it, guys.
Right.
So it's like you have to have a second wind in you to keep going.
Right.
And-
Exactly. Yeah. And it's easy to think of it in that way as kind of two disparate courses. Like making it up the warped wall is just the end of part one, you know?
Yeah.
And it says something about the type of people that qualify that they make it look so easy in the city finals.
I know.
Right.
But they don't even make it look that easy in the qualifying round.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So they just train a whole lot more.
I guess. Yeah.
in
Right.
between, which would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, most people didn't have too much of a problem with the salmon ladder,
Right.
like we've seen in other cities.
Yeah. We didn't see that many people. Kind of. A lot of what we see on the salmon ladder is kind of getting one side of the bar up one rung and then kind of knocking the other one on the edge.
Or losing grip.
Right. Exactly.
Just because, hello.
Mm-hmm.
You're using your grip strength most of the obstacles. But I don't know. I think that seeing the nail clipper, I'm going to start to say it's not,
The nail biter?
and it's not that, because I wrote that down. I was like, wait, that's not what it's called.
Nope.
That's going to be my pun to use on the show. But yeah, when people saw that, I think they kind of psyched themselves out a little bit, because to see so many people not complete it,
Right.
not even get into the second cylinder, that must be already terrifying to try and accomplish that.
Now you mentioned grip strength, so of course we got to talk about the I-beam gap,
Oh,
which like this, I'm surprised that this one didn't take out as many ninjas as it did.
well, it might have just been because they knew.
Right.
You know.
Because it seemed like most people were a lot better at kind of traversing that gap. Whether it was people like John Alexis Jr. who pulled kind of a Jessie Graff and just split against him.
I love that.
Or people like Jamie Rand who made the jump and made it look absolutely effortless. But one of the hardest things to watch of this episode was seeing people get that close to the landing platform only to fall into the water.
That happened at least 2 times.
That happened. I feel like it might have even happened more. I'm not entirely sure.
So Mark Ribeiro
Mhm.
was one of them.
Mhm.
This was off the I-beam, because I don't know if it was just from the I-beam, but there were some where it's for sure just this far off.
Right. It happened a few times on the I-beam, and it definitely happened on the nail clipper, which we'll talk about. But Matt Ribeiro, another one of those tall boys, 6'3".
Otherwise known as Concrete Tarzan.
That's right. Concrete Tarzan, of course.
Yeah, he was so close.
Right. And so, was that the one? I could be confusing this with another run, but I think this is the right one, where he attempted to lower himself down on the eye grip, and on attempting the dismount, his finger slipped off. That might be John Alexis, actually. Oh, no, that's Matt Ribeiro.
He was just trying to dismount.
Right, exactly. And it was like on that kind of backswing of
Yeah.
the dismount that his body weight swung back and just peeled his fingers right off the ledge.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that one's rough. What was really rough to watch was James McGrath's run.
Oh gosh.
Like, that one was killing me.
God. Okay.
Because he's called the Beast for a reason. He's one of the strongest competitors that we've seen on the show. One of the best, kind of most well-known ninjas around. But he's just coming off of shoulder surgery, and this exhaustion is setting in, where he's making it past the obstacles, but he's looking miserable.
After almost every single one,
Yeah.
he just lay down.
Like every one, I was just like, oh, he's gonna quit. Like he's gonna walk.
That was so difficult to watch because we
Yeah.
don't really see that often.
No, you never see that. Even when people are having the hardest time, we've seen people before with like huge smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
And so, but it makes sense. It makes sense that there's such physical stress there that it's almost surprising that we don't see something like this more often.
I think just because we see so many, I mean, not to say that he's not an amazing ninja, but
Sure.
we see so many amazing ninjas that we almost take for granted that this.
How hard it is.
Yeah, this obstacle course is extremely difficult. Not everyone makes it through. Even the first obstacle, the floating steps, those are hard enough as it is.
Sure.
So, I mean, but it was really difficult to watch.
Right. And so basically he's making it through the course. He's making it past these obstacles, but he's looking absolutely exhausted, completely spent. Makes it all the way past the nail clipper on the very last cylinder, and he tries for a backwards dismount. Right? Was that?
I think that was Nagi.
Oh, was that Nagi? Okay.
But I didn't write that down.
Right.
I wrote that down for Nagi.
Okay.
But it was the nail clipper.
Yeah,
for sure.
and he lands on the platform, on kind of that edge, that corner of it, but then ends up slipping off into the water, and it's just like that was the worst ending to this.
Well, and here's the thing. He got like this renewed energy when he was going up the salmon ladder.
Right.
So I think at that point we all thought, oh, he's going to be okay. He's somehow going to make it through. Maybe he was saving up all his energy for the second half of the obstacle course. And just to get through the nail clipper alone, which is already very difficult, was so tough to see because he was so close, and it was just landing on that stinking landing pad. Because
Right.
I mean, that's something that I think some ninjas take for granted because, they try to just get through the obstacle and they don't think that much about the landing part. But the landing part is just as important because if you don't land in the right spot, you're out.
Absolutely. And yeah, like having that spatial awareness and knowing where your body is headed is so important, and it's so hard on a lot of these. There was one run on the rolling log, and God, I'm gonna try my damnedest to remember who it was. Was it Sean Noel? So there was a run where someone was clinging onto that rolling log, and it was perfectly situated over that landing platform. Was it Sean Noel?
Yes.
And it sends him backwards, back into the water. Such a cruel twist of fate.
He hung on too, but then when he was trying to get
That's
I
the
don't
thing.
know.
It seems like on the rolling log, it's hard to determine where exactly you should let go. Because we saw a lot of people hold on just to be sure.
Yeah.
And they would get up on top, and they would have to wait for it to swing back down to let go.
And you almost think, I mean, watching it, especially, the first time we saw this season, I was thinking, no, just get off. Like, don't hold on.
Right.
But no, I mean, they know what they're doing because if you don't hold on long enough, you could be flung back.
Right, exactly. And it was so wild watching the trajectory of that fall.
It was awful.
Being thrown completely backwards past the landing platform. That was rough.
Okay, so Nagi Richardson, the Phoenix.
The Phoenix.
He was doing great. Rising like the Phoenix. And this is when he had gotten through most of the nail clipper, and he decides to go backwards to dismount.
So it's a bold move.
Yes. After the last cylinder, he thinks he will be okay dismounting backwards.
Right.
Now, I don't know what he was thinking exactly because, I mean, like we said, we didn't see many people attempt the nail clipper.
Right.
So he was thinking, maybe this will be better.
Yeah.
But it did not work out for him. He did fall. But, I mean, I don't know because it's...
Look, I'm not going to argue the physics of it because he would know much better than I would. I am merely speculating, but it seems like it wouldn't
really work?
Be as effective, but who knows?
Well, and I think the issue
a lot of strategies don't seem on paper like they'd be as effective, and they are.
And you just have to try them out at the nail clipper if you can get far enough.
Right.
But I think the most difficult part is the last cylinder, the last little hole, the handholds for that, because either you're backwards and your hands are behind you in a way and then you just jump forward.
Right.
When that feels awkward. Or they're in front of you, which feels more normal, but then you have to jump backward. That is just so weird.
Yeah.
In no way is that going to be comfortable at all.
We also saw people, I can't remember who exactly it was, but using a backwards method on the salmon ladder. Was that Jamie Ron?
I think so.
Was it? Okay.
I think so.
Because that was interesting. It makes a lot of sense. Like I think it was Akbar that had mentioned being able to visualize the bar and seeing what the rungs that you're trying to lock it into. Mm-hmm. It makes sense, you know.
We didn't see other people do that.
No.
Tonight. So, I mean.
So it's interesting. Yeah. What else? I mean, that's kind of...
Oh, yeah. Well, again, inches away from platform, Alexei Matusik.
Oh, that's right. The Harvard Medical School surgeon.
He looked nice.
He looked very nice.
His scrub cap
and he made such a good pace on the Razor's Edge. Mm-hmm. Just gliding over it, just like 1 foot on each panel. But he dismounted pretty much right into the water. On what was it? Was it on the nail clipper?
It was the I-beam.
Was the I-beam? That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a lot of early dismounts, but I mean, I do have to say, like you said, you know, people did way better on the I-beam, and
sure.
I'm glad because.
Well, and I think the biggest thing that people struggled with in the qualifier was the gap itself. This time it seemed like people did have trouble, but it was more so with the grip and with the ledges on it.
Well, I think that, and also just going up the first kind of L.
Right. Because that takes so much upper body strength, basically pulling your entire upper body up. Because your legs can't really help all that much until you're almost completely vertical.
And I think they said it was, 2 inches? I mean, 2 inches, yeah, right. 2 feet wide?
Yes. The ledges?
The ledge.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no, wait.
The width of the actual I-beam
of
itself.
the beam itself, right.
Yes,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot. So you can't really hug it that easily.
Yeah.
Like a tree or something.
And then once you pull yourself up, to make it across that 6.5 foot gap is even tougher.
And it doesn't look that big on screen.
Oh, no, exactly.
It looks really small.
Right.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It is certainly not. I don't know. And they did say, you know, like coming into the episode, that there's so many talented individuals. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the nail clipper proved to be extremely difficult.
So deadly.
Enough that they were counting, you know, this is the 10th person that has not been able to make it.
Right.
And we got
we would come back from a commercial break and there'd be 3 more people that all went out on the nail clipper.
Yeah.
So to the point where, and let's get to who qualified. Mm-hmm. We've got 2 finishers. We've got Jamie Ron. We've got Joe Moravsky. Mm-hmm. Every single other person that qualified for Vegas went out on the nail clipper.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that crazy?
Right.
So I'm wondering what kind of obstacles they're going to have in Kansas City next week.
Yeah, right?
I mean, hey, was it Calvin? I don't know. Like, if they want to pick another one of yours.
Too difficult, Calvin.
Too difficult. But gosh, only 16. And he was able to submit that onto the Obstacle Design Challenge. So if you guys want to do that, you can.
There you go.
ANWNation.com.
So who qualified for Vegas? Who are we looking at?
So we got Joe Moravsky, Jamie Ron, John Alexis Jr., Mike Myers, Judas Litridello.
Ligardello.
Thank you. Michael Torres, Dan. You guys have fun last names. Galakzinski. Matt and Akbar do such a good job.
Right.
Mike Bernardo, Anthony DeFranco, Chris DeGangi, Matthew Ilgenfritz.
Ilgenfritz.
Thank you. Tyler Cravens, Nagi Richardson, Samer Delgado, Jessie Flex Labrecque, and then Alisa Beard.
There we go.
So yeah, I mean, we've got only 3 more weeks to Vegas.
Right.
Next week is Kansas City. So I mean, it's only gonna get more and more exciting because the obstacles are gonna get scarier and scarier. Oh.
I'm excited. I'm so excited. I can't wait until we get to Vegas. I'm excited.
I know.
Not until we physically get to Vegas.
No, we're gonna stay here.
Oh, you guys should go.
Stay here.
Hey,
Go to Vegas.
Let's do it, guys. Road trip.
Let's go to Vegas.
Let's do it.
Mark. Let's all road trip up to Vegas for the finals.
Let's do it.
Mount Midoriyama.
Dude, Mount Midoriyama in person is really daunting.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I want to go and watch some Sasuke.
What?
The original Japanese obstacle course
Oh,
show. Yeah.
Yes.
Have you guys seen Unbeatable Banzuke, by the way? Not to go on like
I've seen Unbeatable
completely.
Banzuke, but I like.
So imagine an obstacle course like this, but like you're on stilts, or you're on a unicycle, or you're walking on your hands. That's Unbeatable
that
Banzuke.
I would say
sounds
it's sort of equal to Wipeout in terms of you're not supposed to accomplish that either.
That's true. That's a good point.
Oh,
That's a good point.
Wipeout.
I love Wipeout. I miss Wipeout.
The fun sound effects. Whoop.
Exactly. Oh man, but guys,
They would never use this one.
oh, I wish they did. Well, what an episode this was. What an episode this was. Thank you guys for joining us, whether you're on iTunes, whether you're on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. If you're on iTunes, download, comment, review, subscribe, rate. 5 stars if you're nasty. We want to hear from you. Tell us about which obstacles you think are the toughest, which ones could stand to be a little bit easier, a little bit more forgiving.
No, Clipper.
We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Come find us. Amy, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at AmyCassandra_TV and AmyCassandra.com.
Mark Budanica, where can they find you?
I took that. That was off guard. Hi, you can find me on Twitter at Mark Budanica. If you like video games, why don't you check out Inventory Full on the Popcorn Talk Network? We're going to be launching on Twitch pretty soon with game streams, things of that nature. I also just started playing Dream Daddy with my wife. Boy, it's an experience. Check it out, Mark Budanica. Thank you, Ty. Back to you.
Incredible. You guys can find me online at Ty Matthews PMA. Find me on Twitter. Find me on Instagram. Find me on the PlayStation Network. Let's play some Overwatch. Let's play some Lucio Ball. You can find me on the Lucha Underground After Show, not tomorrow, but next week.
Why not tomorrow?
We'll be doubling up because Rachel and Jimbo are going to be out of town.
That's very good. The
But
one night I'm in town.
Next week, we'll be doubling up. We'll be talking 2 episodes at 10 p.m. on Thursday night. And that's about it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. But until next week, until Kansas City, peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.